Another Valentine's Day brings another list. Last year I shared my top 10 romantic couples in fiction and what made them a good couple. So this year I'm going to try something different. Let's see, I'm thinking my top 5 fictional crushes. Yeah, we've all had them. The character that you fall in love with. In my case, it's Amy Zielinski, Gwen Stacy, Vanessa Kensington, Kimberly, and Kristen Bell as, well, just Kristen Bell really. Not Christian Bell, Kristen Bell. Ugh, Veronica Mars. Thank you. What do you mean? I think it'll be a great list. Well, who asked you? Oh no, what are you trying to do? Oh boy, well you read the title. It's time for my top 5 animated crushes. Yay. Well, you've all been there, and don't you try to deny it. You're playing a video game, watching an animated movie or television show, and you look at her and say, wow, I wish she was real. Now before I get the creeper label, hey, I'm being serious. The reason I had crushes on these characters was not because of their badonkadonk or beauty even for that matter. In fact, these characters help set the standard for what I look for in an actual mate. Well, stop that! What I mean is, the personality and characteristics that attracted me to these animated characters are also key points that attract me to real ladies in my life, and those I meet in the future. So, without further ado, let's ignore the fact that these lovelies were probably designed by hairy Wookiees, and take a look. Number 5. Colette from Tales of Symphonia. Ah, Tales of Symphonia, or as I like to call it, the Final Fantasy Killer. That's another video though. Tales of Symphonia revolves around this girl right here, Colette Brunel. A blonde-haired, blue-eyed Nazi, I mean chosen, of regeneration. She was one of the first RPG characters that didn't serve as the main healer, but rather a spell-casting angel. Sadly, I didn't play as her much because I had Swordsman Robin to play as. Titans, go! While playing the game, I found the klutzy Colette charming, good-natured, and quite silly, but I don't know. I found her constant apologizing a tad annoying. Yeah, I understood the situation she was in, but that didn't hit me that hard. And then I watched the OVA. Holy crap, despite the constant corners that are cut in this series, it does one thing perfect, the drama. In the game, though I knew the situation was serious, they always played it in a lighthearted tone or for laughs. Take this bit for instance. In the game, Lloyd tricks Colette so he can discover her inability to feel anything, but in the animation... Oi, Colette!
暖かい我が家へ
お前、それお前どうしちまったんだよ
なんでも
コレット
Wow, you really feel sorry for her. What makes these moments more powerful in the animation compared to the video game is we get to see more of Colette's charming nature. She has a good heart and hates to see those close around her in harm. So she's technically the strongest of the group, not physically but more on a spiritual level. You know she's someone who takes responsibility seriously, and when she gives her word you can guarantee she'll keep it. It's her acts of kindness and how strong she is, even in the most dire of situations, that made me care for her as a character. And by the end of the show, she grew on me. Number 4. Starfire from Teen Titans. Extraterrestrial ladies usually don't do it for me, but there's always an exception to the rule. Case in point, Starfire from Teen Titans. I chose the one from the animated series because the one from the comics is a mannequin. Starfire is a naive Tamaranian girl who has a curious nature similar to that of a child. She's fascinated by the customs and traditions of Earth, and her odd phrasing of the English language is quite cute to be honest.
Perhaps we should do the hanging out. We never have before, and conceivably it could be fun. We might journey to the mall of shopping, or perform braiding maneuvers upon each other's hair, or... You wish to be alone?
Starfire values friendship most of all, and you can guarantee she'll do anything she can to withhold the bond. Her curious nature also makes her keen to adapt to almost any lifestyle among her friends, as seen with her wishes to bond with not only Robin, but Raven, Cyborg, and Beast Boy as well. She has the ability to fly, which comes from happy thoughts, and her star bolts come from feelings of righteous fury, so she has to focus on positive outcomes to get her powers to work properly, otherwise she can't survive those treacherous situations. I think it's her faithfulness to her friends that I find most attractive. She'll think highly of them and do her best to cheer them up. Of course, due to her misunderstanding, she'll need some cheering up herself because there are some concepts she can't quite grasp as much as she'd like to. Though she may have 9 stomachs and a thirst for mustard, Starfire is one quirky and curious little kitten. Not that kitten. Much better. Number 3, 003, aka Francois Arnaud, from Cyborg 009. Cyborg 009 was one of my favorite TV shows growing up because it had this perfect blend of lighthearted comedy and heart-sinking drama. The show centers around 9 cyborgs whose human lives were stripped from them by Black Ghost, a terrorist organization hell-bent on causing war by dealing weapons and ruling with an iron fist. Much like Teen Titans, every character on the team is diverse and important, and you grow to love them all as the series progresses. The only female member of the team is 003, formerly known as Francois Arnaud. 003 serves as the observer of the team and is one of the most passive members of the group. She is also the caretaker of 001, the one female serves as the mother figure. Oh please, who didn't see that coming? Okay, despite the obvious mother figure stereotype, there's a lot more to her character. In fact, from the first episode, I wrote her off and said, yep, seen this before, but luckily, I was wrong. She's very intelligent and is the most level-headed and mature member of the group. She only fights when necessary, but when she's brought to that point, she can be quite a hassle. She's also a bit of a realist. Being the oldest member of the group, she's seen the world and what it's capable of, so she knows much more than she leads on, but you can barely tell due to her being reserved and a bit of an introvert. She prefers to be the listener and the observer rather than the speaker. Number 2, Anna from Frozen. Yep, Disney's newest animated feature has a character that I have a crush on. It's mostly due to her being voiced by Kristen Bell. Veronica Mars. Thank you. I'll admit, the first half hour of this movie and Anna bothered the living hell out of me. Overly bubbly, childish, and singing about everything. I mean, everything. Don't get me wrong, I love Veronica Mars' singing voice, but when it came time for her to step up, luckily, she did. Anna would try to act cool and tough, but her kind heart would sneak in, and I must say, this was a nice touch. Usually you have a female character who is so nice she's a frickin' saint, or so mean you want to punch her in the Helga Pataki. Anna is in that happy middle. She's kind, but don't think you can push her around because she does have a bit of tomboy in her. Not something that's easy to pull off. She also toned down the singing and went for a more adventurous and humorous approach, which was much more appreciated. Ah, Kristen Bell. You have the perfect voice for an animated female. Perhaps you'd like to voice my number 1 crush. Well, if you know me at all, and even if you saw my last Valentine video, you know who number 1 is. You ready? Zelda from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Dear Din, this character is adorable. Nintendo made a genius move by switching Zelda from the royal princess to the childhood girl next door. Everything this girl did seemed real. She's playful, she teases, she's smart and kind, but don't upset her, or she'll put you in your place. She shows responsibility, she's talented as all hell. I mean, she sews dresses and plays the harp. Oh, you goddess. She's cute as a button, she's helpful to those in need, and above all else, she made me care. When Zelda was in trouble, I was as eager as Link in my quest to find her. I wanted to see her safe. I could not rest until I knew she was in good hands. When Impa shoved me off for being a burden, it only encouraged me to try harder, and I hated Girahim. Not for being a bad character, no, he was actually really good, but rather for being such a thorn in my side. Constant snickering at my appearance, persistently causing harm to Zelda. You know, that's one of the things that I really liked about Skyward Sword. I felt that I was Link and Zelda was my girl. I'd do anything to keep her safe. Redundant advice from Fi? You bet. Revisits to previous locations? No problem. A tadpole minigame that the internet community exaggerates? For Zelda, I'd do anything. And that about wraps up this list. Now I know it's still weird, and kinda creepy in a way. But let me just leave with this note. Call me shallow all you want, but here we go. I think it's the women that maintain a balance of kind heart and strong will that attract me the most. Women are strong individuals, but flaunting it never did much for me. It always seemed like a cry for attention in my eyes. It takes more than a perfect body to turn my head. The personality is what catches my eye. Her sense of humor, her shameless need to awaken her inner child, her gentle nature which could only be seen by those who spent enough time to get past her shell, and above all, her kind heart. Personal taste speaking here, I hear a lot of complaints that there need to be more gentlemen in life, and though I agree, I do think the best gentlemen are only possible with the aid of a kind-hearted lady. It's a team effort, and it's refreshing to see the women who don't look like they need attention 24/7 and live their own life. They can stand on their own if they have to, but they also wouldn't mind some company now and then. If pushed, they can show you why you shouldn't mess with them, but they don't go around looking for trouble either. They live life, caring about those around them without the need to baby or pamper them because, well, come on guys, she's not your... Her level head and kind heart will keep me close, and I will take down demons like Girahim with her kindness to guide me. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. War Dog out.